Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. This day is going to be a little bit more unscripted. I didn't really have too much chance to reflect by writing down what I wanted to say. I only briefly went through the master book, and my original thought and plan was to correlate the chapters to the months, and I'm looking ahead, and Chapter 5 has about 25 verses, and I don't think that we're going to be able to get through the rest of 4. And I know that we started a little late, so what we're going to try to do is we're going to do as many as we can, and then we're going to fill blank space with the chapters that go over 30 and 31 verses, and we might get a little bit off, but it also might allow us space in the future to revisit some of the verses and chapters. So we'll just see where the path leads us. There are 13 chapters in the Art of War, but again, I don't necessarily think that kind of one of the last chapters, which one is it? It may not, like the use of spies or terrain, although, you know, terrain is good, or attacking by fire. I mean, we'll go through them. I know I said originally maybe not, but I think just to keep it open and just to keep moving through, that way we hit everything. But anyway, on to chapter 4, verses 5. Security against defeat implies defensive tactics. Ability to defeat the enemy means taking the offensive. And that's number 6, is standing on the defensive indicates insufficient strength, attacking a superabundance of strength. Number 7, verse 7, the general who is skilled in defense hides in the most secret recesses of the earth. He who is skilled in attack flashes forth from the topmost heights of heaven. Thus, on the one hand, we have ability to protect ourselves, on the other, a victory that is complete. Number 8, verse 8, to see victory only when it is within the ken of the common herd is not the acme of excellence. So, let's jump over to the pocketbook, see what some interpretations are. Alright. Master Sun. Invincibility is a matter of defense. Vulnerability is a matter of attack. Cao Cao, Cao Cao, Chow Chow, I'm not really sure. For an invincible defense, conceal your form. When opponents attack you, then they are vulnerable. So, this is one of those classics of, you know, the best offense is a good defense. If you're invincible, to kind of harken back to the last couple of verses, wait for the opponent to attack you. That way you can find weak spots in their form. Dumu. As long as you have not seen vulnerable formations in opponents, you hide your own form, preparing yourself in such a way as to be invincible in order to preserve yourself. When opponents have vulnerable formations, then it is time to go out and attack them. When you know, Zhang Yu. When you know you do not yet have the means to conquer, you guard your energy and wait. I think that's very insightful. When you're not ready, don't force it. You know, keep stockpiling, keep planning, keep learning, keep increasing your strength in the areas that you know you can, so that you may conquer when the time comes. And then, of course, when you know that an opponent is vulnerable, then you attack the heart and take it. Wang Qi. Those on the defensive are so because they do not have enough to win. Those on the offense are so because they have more than enough to win. Master Sun. Defense is for times of insufficiency. Attack is for times of surplus. All right, before we dive into the two interpretations, I really like that one. If you're not ready in a business sense to go out and invest perhaps the money that you need to invest or take the risk that you need to take, then it may not be wise to do so until you are in a place of surplus. You know, you have surplus in your retained earnings type of deal, or your revenue is such that you can continue operations like you have in the past, but there's not much risk on the downside. So therefore you can attack a new target market, or you can increase hires, or start a new marketing campaign, or up your production. But if you're still getting started, or if you had a bad quarter or a bad year, then you need to make sure that you have a good defensive strategy and remain invincible, to harken back to the last couple of verses. So if you focus on your defense and your invincibility and your vulnerabilities in time and downtimes in the market, then you'll be ready to take advantage of upswings in the market and find those opportunities. So Lee Kuan said, those whose strength is insufficient should defend. Those whose strength is superabundant can attack. Cheng Yu, when we are on the defensive, it is because there is some lack in terms of a way to seize victory, so we wait for what we need. When we are on the offensive, it is because we already have more than enough of what it takes to overcome an opponent, so we go forth and strike. This means that we will not do battle unless we are certain of complete victory. We will not fight unless we are sure it is safe. Some people think insufficiency means weakness and surplus means strength, but this impression is wrong. I like this interpretation. So it just goes to show that when I read Master Sun talk about his, I even interpreted it wrong. But where Cheng Yu comes in, I like his take on it. It reminds me of Robert Kiyosaki when he researches properties to invest in, as in income producing properties. He said he'll look at 100 properties and choose one. He takes his time. And in other things, I think like the 4-hour work week, he advocates find out all the risk. Don't just do it willy-nilly. Take your time and do the research. Of course, you can only do so much until you have to make the final decision, but do everything that you can to research and take your time and make the right decision. So this means that we do not do battle unless we are certain of complete victory. We do not make needless investments or buy things unless we are sure that it is going to be a net gain, a net positive for our strategy or for our life. And let's see, I think this is one more. Let's see, where did I stop at? Security 1, 2. Yep, okay, so here would be the 7th one. Sorry. Master Sun, those skilled in defense hide in the deepest depths of the earth. Those skilled in attack maneuver in the highest heights of the sky. Therefore, they can preserve themselves and achieve complete victory. Chow Chow. They hide in the depths of the earth by taking advantage of the fastness of the mountains, rivers, and hills. They maneuver in the heights of the sky by taking advantage of the times of nature. I like that from an investment perspective. If you're going to hide in the deepest depths of the earth, it's like flight to quality. You know, invest in gold, invest in minerals, copper, mining, oil. And then when you're on the offensive and you're attacking from the air, that's when you're speculating, you're investing in things like Tesla or Virgin or one of the many new ventures, right? In defense, Dumu. In defense, you hush your voices and obliterate your tracks, hidden as ghosts and spirits beneath the earth, invisible to anyone. On the attack, your movement is swift and your cry shattering, fast as thunder and lightning, as though coming from the sky, impossible to prepare for. I like this one in the sense of managing and operating or running your business. So if you've had a bad quarter, or if you're still defensive, if you're still small, don't make things obvious. Don't boast. You know, you can obviously talk about what you're doing or entrust things to certain people, but in the end, you need to build up and keep hidden. But when you're on the attack, as in, I don't know, a new marketing campaign, you know, when you're ready to attack a new target market or open your company or something like that, that's when you come in guns blazing, right? Your movement is swift and your cry is shattering. You've done your research. You know, it's not a risk, right? Just like he said, just like saying use interpretation. This means we do not battle unless we are certain of complete victory. Wang Chi. Defense here means lying low when you do not see any effective way to attack, sinking into stillness and recondite silence, not letting opponents find you out. Attack is for when you see an advantage to aim for. On the attack, you should be extremely swift, taking advantage of unexpectedness, wary of letting opponents find you out and prepare against you. So this one was the last one. To perceive victory when it is known to all is not really skillful. Everyone calls victory in battle good, but it is not really good. So that one was the one, number 8, verse 8. To see victory only when it was... Let me start over. To see victory only when it is within the kin of the common herd is not the acme of excellence. So again, to perceive victory when it is known to all is not really skillful. Everyone calls victory in battle good, but it is not really good. Actually, this one goes with the next couple of verses in the chapters, so I'm actually going to stop there. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please like this video, subscribe, leave me a comment about anything that you enjoyed from it, anything that you took away, and then we'll continue on tomorrow, hopefully, or the next day with the next couple of verses. Until then, friends,